Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti. We are currently studying the scripture Mysticism of Srimad Bhagavatam. Commentary is by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda ji Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently studying the glories of Lord Krishna, and today we will be covering the story of the demon Utkashit and Lord Krishna overturning the cart. On one special ceremonial day, the baby Krishna awoke from sleep and cried out for his mother to feed him. Because Yashoda was busy taking care of her guests, she did not hear her child crying. As nearby children watched him, Krishna flung up his small feet and with that kick caused the cart under which he was sleeping to overturn. As it did so, all the vessels carrying milk products went tumbling in all directions. The children rushed to Mother Yashoda to tell her that baby Krishna had knocked over the entire heavy load, but she did not believe them. How could she? He was such a small baby and that cart was very big. Rushing to see what really happened, Yashoda saw the overturned cart that could easily have crushed her son, but Krishna was completely safe. Some of the strongest men there righted the cart and straightened the things that had fallen. Then they performed special rituals to thank God for his protection of Krishna. They never realized it was indeed Krishna himself who had kicked the cart and brought it down in a resounding crash. So let's explore the mystical meaning now. To better understand this episode in Krishna's life, we must know the ancient story about a demon named Utkashit, who was the son of the mighty demon Hiranyaksha. Remember, we had covered Hiranyaksha when Lord came down as Varaha avatar and picked up the earth and killed him. Utkashit was the son. So he was extremely strong and arrogant and conceited about his bodily appearance. Once, while passing through the ashram of a sage named Lomesh Rishi, Utkashit destroyed lots of trees. Lomesh Rishi cursed him, saying, "You wicked demon, may you become bodiless." The moment that curse was uttered, the body of Utkashit began to fade. He fell at the feet of the sage and begged for forgiveness. Lomesh Rishi said, "Don't worry. One day, Krishna's foot will touch you and then you will become liberated." That bodiless demon had now entered into that cartload and Krishna liberated him with the kick of his tender foot. So we must understand when we, in the Hindu and Sanatan Dharma philosophy, these sages often curse people, which is a very confusing thought because a lot of people are afraid of curses and nobody wants to go through that terrible outcome. But the mystical and the deeper meaning is that whenever we are misaligned from our priorities or we do demoniac and wrong things, these sages and saints bring us to the right point. It's like a ladder that is tilted, which can create a lot of harm. So they straighten the ladder, even though it's painful at the time, but eventually it is always auspicious. The shrap or the curse means Sha means auspicious and Ap means water. So they take some water and then they throw it on the person and then they curse him, which of course at the time is painful, but out of it comes development, growth, and spirituality and righteousness. All those things come out of it, just like for this demon who had to pay the price of his wrong deeds. In a subtle mystic way, this episode describes the great change that must occur in the unconscious of an aspirant. So in each of us, we have our heart, and within that, there is a small space called our unconscious, and that unconscious stores millions and millions and millions of years of embodiments and our impressions. Whatever impressions we had gathered there are all residing in the unconscious, which keep coming up as thought waves, different thought waves, at all times. And therefore this process of sadhana is to cleanse the unconscious that we have created. Nobody else has done it. We have done it. In each embodiment we have got attached to the illusion process of Maya, and therefore we now need to continue to clean up the unconscious and increase our virtues. So the unconscious is a vast storehouse of the loads of karma that have accumulated. There are two types of samskaras or karmas in our unconscious, and they are obviously positive and negative. The negative type has developed because of our identity with our body in each of our embodiments, whether we were an animal or a male or a female in our past lives or different species. We have built over those embodiments, and even in this one, even in this body, we continue to do these things such as vanity, arrogance, egoism. So this load must be destroyed. And then there are also the positive qualities we have accumulated over time, such as compassion and love, spirituality, and so on. So the load of impurity has to be destroyed, not the purity. The goal is to become pure. So it is the touch of Krishna's tender foot that will destroy countless negative karmas that we have generated in our unconscious. That overhauling of the unconscious allows positive impressions to become dominant, or sattva to show up. Sattva is purity. So for that purity to show up and shine through us, and it paves the way for further spiritual advancement. And that is the essence of today's satsang. So we will see you in tomorrow's satsang, where we will be discussing Krishna's glories and his destruction of different demons. This is Swami Nikhilanand. Om Tat Sat.